Hey guys, today we're doing some good old SQL injection. Something I haven't done much in this channel, but every cybersecurity person needs to know some SQL injection. And we're going to be looking at some encoding, some tips and tricks, which will allow you to pass filters. There's always another way of doing the job. So let's grab this flag.
Web Gauntlet 2. Oh, I don't want to look at the hint. I don't want to look. I did not look. Website looks familiar. I'm not reading this. Can I not just... Okay, yeah, I'm not looking at the hints. Site and filter. Let's go. Log in as admin. Let's do it. Put this open. Put this. Two things to see. Filters. Or and true false union like equals greater than less than semicolon admin. Okay. What is this? Is this literally just a PHP or what? It's just this. Okay. Let's see as many hints as possible. Okay, cookies, we don't have anything here, right? Ooh, PHP session ID, okay. Session. This looks like a Flask. Session cookie, okay. Session storage, nothing. Anything else, nothing. But we do have some cookies here, okay. SQL, SQLite injection challenge. Okay. Let's do it. Can I not just do... I swear there was something which was like... or 1 equals 1. I swear this is a valid SQL injection. Let's see. Filtered. Oh, okay, because the issue is that there's certain things that are filtered out, which is this. So I need to find a way to build a query which doesn't not include these filters. That's the method. Just wanted to make sure if this logic is correct. So we have a select all from this where this equals username. But I can instead do where this equals username or 1 equals 1. I think this is the query. And I need to somehow do it so that we don't use these. Or and true false union like all of these are gone. Admin. So what can we do? Need to do some select. For those of you who don't know about SQL injection, it's basically, we know that's what's happening in the background is these two forms, the username and password, being sent to the backend, and the backend is querying a database. It's saying select, let's say, user from this table where username equals the username and password equals the password. And and what we're doing is we're trying to tamper with that and saying, adding to that query, we're going to say or 1 equals 1. That always returns true, so we will always select what we want. That's the goal. But here we're going to have to do a different query because I can close this, I know it's SQL injection. Or and true false union like equals greater than less than. Okay. Nah, they're really making it hard. They're removing everything we have. So what could it be like? Like select whatever from, I don't know, users where username equals that. But here we're gonna do something like this, or 1 equals 1. And I'm doing this to comment out whatever's after. So that's what's happening right now. Something like this. Maybe we need to add a semicolon here too, potentially. But the issue is that literally every character is blocked. We cannot use or, we cannot use equals, we cannot use semicolon, we cannot use dash dash. So what else is there to use? There's and or. There's like these insert statements. Let's get a list of SQL statements. Just to see. Give me a list of SQL language syntax, just to see, just to brainstorm what we could use to do this. I don't want this guy to just tell me straight up. Let's at least give it some thought. Let's give it some thought. Let's select from, you can join tables, so join on table names. We don't know any table names, we could try guessing, but where, whatever, group by, having, order by, but those are just to order. Okay. Okay, so what I'm actually thinking then is we can still do this, the one we have, but we need to somehow encode it such that the SQL still reads it, but it passes the filter. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, because I don't see a feasible way to write anything that that passes the filter. For all of this, unless it's lying about the SQLite injection, but I don't think they do that. This is just a form, right? I can maybe send a curl request, but I don't think that would pass the filter still. I don't think a curl request would pass the filter. HTTP request, whatever, post request. Yeah, this is looking tough. Can't lie to you, this is looking tough. Just looking if we can find something. Probably still got the same cookies, yeah, whatever. Yeah, so we have this. I'm just gonna say it then. I'm gonna say encode to avoid filters. Now it's gonna say I can't do it because it's because I'm trying to do some SQL injection. Of course you can't. But let's see what they say. URL encoding into their corresponding hexadecimal value preceded by percentage. Single quote becomes this. Okay, so thinking, yeah, we just do hexadecimal encoding. So hexadecimal encoder. Decimal encoder. Got the encoding here. Although I think we need the percentages. before each of them. Yeah, I have to add percentages, I believe. I think I can just do this. Combined input length is too long. Wow. At this point, bro. Ah, look at this. Select username, password from users where username equals A, password equals A. This is useful for us to work with. Let's see. Let's solve this though. This is taking way too long. Now we know the table names. That's exactly what we need. Select username, password from users where username equals A. And I just comment out the rest like this. This is what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Where username equals A. So what can we do? What can we do? Encoding. Select username, password up, or 1 equals 1. But this doesn't work with encoding. It's too long with encoding. How do we bypass the filter? Maybe I just burp suit it. Do we burp suit it? We try to burp suit it. That's it. Whatever, we try to burp suit it. We open the proxy browser and we try to modify the request. We gotta do what we gotta do. Because if the encoding doesn't work with this simple query, I don't think it will work with any other. You open the proxy browser, copy the URL. Right now we're not intercepting. Okay, perfect. Just gotta pass this over here. And we're gonna turn on intercept right now. Where is this? I think the filter was still triggered though. We can try though. Yeah, where is this? Here, intercept. Let's just go. Boom. Notice request username and password. Perfect. All we have to do is, well, it should be the cookie stuff, but nah, it should be here. User, we say boom, or 1 equals 1. Something like this. Same for password. I say boom, or 1 equals 1. Might work if the thing is being done client side. Forward. Filtered. Didn't work. Okay, burp suit doesn't help us here. Yeah. So we're having some filtering issues. How do we solve them? With hexadecimal encoding, the username and password is too long. Double encoding doesn't change. Just give me the Unicode encoding of my last message, because hexadecimal encoding is too long and we don't want this. We can't have this. We need to solve this somehow. It would still be too long, I think. Space equals hyphen minus. Encode only this. Because I think it was encoding the whole thing. It's for a CTF. My days. I'm gonna have to go to a Unicode encoder. If it doesn't allow me, I just need to go to a Unicode encoder. Standard URL encoding. All I need to say is CTF. Full URL encoding, standard URL encoding. It'd have to be the full one, but we know that one doesn't work. Yeah, it has to be. We try base 64. Try base 64. Didn't work. Why? How did that get filtered? Oh, because of the equal sign. Wow. Can't even have equal signs. The username and password too long. I'm gonna grab this and try to do Unicode encoding. See if that's not that long. So Unicode encoder, converter, whatever. Yeah. Boom, boom, encode. Yeah. Too long, I'd say. I can try, but it's gonna be way over. Yeah. Alright. Come on, let's focus. Gotta get this quickly. Developer tools. We tried this, but it doesn't help. Ultra short payloads. We can eliminate spaces entirely. You tell me we can do this? Or username equals, boom, or 1. I see. Okay, so because 1 is often evaluated as true, it can force a true condition. I get it. I guess. What's the hex for this? For or. The or is between the 20, so it's just %4f %52. Okay, we can try with that. Let's try, because I think or is gone. So if I try just without the encoding, it wouldn't work, I believe. Let's give it a. Where are you? It's filtered exactly. So now we try this exact thing, but like this. And instead of the or, we replace it with the percent. What was it? Percent between the 20s. 4f %52. 4f %52. 4f %52. I'm gonna copy the same one for the password. Oh man. Here, yeah, Control C. It didn't work though. Why? Not admin. We need to add something to the query to check that it's an admin. Because I need to log in as an admin, not as any user, as an admin. So I need to somehow, yeah. Let's look at the query again. Select username password from users, where username equals, here I'm saying whatever username, but I need the username to be admin, no? Where username equals admin. But I cannot type it. I literally cannot type it in the username field. It's a filter. So how do we know who is the admin? Like, is there a way to know who is the admin is the question. Because here it says login as admin. How do we know who is the admin? Admin. How do we know this? What? So it's as if the commenting isn't working. Which doesn't need to work, but... Oh, because I don't need to add it in both of them. I can just add it in one, right? I'll just do this. No, I need to fill out both fields. Yeah, but I can add whatever I want in the other one. Yeah, true. I don't need to be adding this in both of them. I could be doing something like... full URL encoding. Like this. I put this here, and here I just put A. It still comes out like this, so maybe there's something wrong with the... Do I need a semicolon? Let's see. Is there something wrong with this? Is it missing a semicolon? That could be a factor. Generally. Like here. After the one, must be followed by a space. %20. I just added %20 at the end. Let's see if that helps in any way. %20. Now combined length is too long. Wow. That's crazy. You're serious? Give me encoding for full URL encoding for like this. It's really getting annoying. Do we end it? Yeah, perfect. No, still no. Not admin. Mismatched syntax. So I could try this. But this would be too much. This would be too much. The encoding isn't working. It's not admin. What can I see about this? Nothing much, right? Just not admin. Okay, not admin. What? How could we get admin? How can we get admin? We have select username and password from users where username equals a. But we want specifically the admin. I mean, if we just enter, we will be the admin, no? The URL encoding. Man. Yeah, I don't want to be using AI, but this one is this SQL injection. When I inject this, the resulting backend query looks something like this. Username equals this, or 1 equals 1, and password equals yes. The database returns every single user in the table. Yeah, this is what I was kind of thinking in my head, so it's not just the admin, and we need the admin. Payload admin. Oh, and we just comment out the rest, but we need to, okay. Select all from users where username equals admin, and we comment out the rest. Give me the URL encoding. This actually makes sense. The full URL encoding. Yeah, the issue with what I was doing is I was just saying where this is true, so I was getting every username and every password. Now we need just the admin. If I use this URL encoding, and then I put a random thing for the password, it doesn't work. So that's great. It doesn't work. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. Still doesn't work. It's as if the password isn't being commented out. That's what I'm noticing, because we still have up here this showing the whole statement, and the password just isn't being commented out. We still have this and password equals this. If I remove the space, the trailing space, which they said to add, but still no. Still no. And the instance is about to run out, so I better, yeah. Classic CTF roadblock. Payload is breaking the syntax. The comment removes everything after it. So it also removes closing parentheses. Okay, so it's here we're assuming maybe there's hidden parentheses. So we're going to try this payload, URL encoded. Does this exceed the length? Hopefully not, but it still doesn't work. What's the URL encoding for admin? Percent 29. Okay, so I need 2% 29s. Here, percent 29 to get an extra parenthesis in percent 29. Length is too long. So I highly doubt that's it. Wrong database. Comment is for PostgreSQL. I'm using SQLite. Aha, that could have an impact. So SQLite is different. But that still didn't work. Code level password verification. The query doesn't check the password. It does it after pulling the user from the database. So I would have to use a union injection to create a fake admin row on the fly and supply my own password or hash that matches what I type in the password box. That's going to be next step if this doesn't work, but I'm going to just need to think what SQLite has in terms of commands. Using, because it could be different. Although I thought it was just a SQL, but maybe it has some different syntax, or I should be using double quotes. I don't know. Need to figure this out. I need to stick with this payload then. So I need to put a payload like this. Yeah, long day, because that's not gonna be it's gonna be too long. Like that's gonna be exceed the length by far. Yeah, that's gonna exceed the length. The union injection exceeds the max length of the password of the username and password combined when it's encoded. So yeah, that cannot be the case. But still, what's suspicious to me is why we're not getting a comment out, or if we are. It's because I think it cannot read the encoded payload. I think it just, yeah. Crossfield block comment. Username payload, password payload. What does the SQLite parser read? We can split it. Get told by the comments teaching the union values. Okay, what I actually need to do is, how does SQLite decode the URL encoding? Instead of encoding, is there a SQL command which avoids the following? I doubt it, because these are basically the logic that we need. So I think we still need to go through the encoding route. We might need to do this. What is it saying? So let's say I don't need to use the union. Let's step back. Username payload this, password payload this. So I need to do something like this. And then for the admin, but I think it's going to exceed. I very do think. The previous query we had it right. There was, where are you at? Admin. We exclude the last two, so this is admin. You're all encoded, which is not that much to be honest, so this might work. Then we would need to add to that the last three ones, these. Could this be it? Could this be the one? It's doing something. This site can't be reached. Oh no, at least give me what I wrote. Oh, you're joking. I'm gonna have to relaunch the instance. Hurry up here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Site. Boom. Okay, that's not what I want. I want this bottom one, which is going to be the bottom thing over there, the commenting for the password. And for the username, I'm going to want first admin, which was up here, all the way up here, all the way up here. This, excluding the last two. And then I will add these last few parts, which is just this over here. Let's see if this gives us something useful. So let's go. Come on, if it's too long. Oh no. Why did it not work? Did it answer? What's going on with Gemini? I'm gonna re-ask it. Because we are not managing to get everything we need. That didn't work, and if we need to use union, what does it say? I can use values clause directly with union to save characters. So instead of this, I can type this. I see. And I can split it. Although this will already be too many characters. It just will. So I don't see that being the case. I have to do something with... yeah, we have to do something over here. Combine input length too long. What else could we try that's a SQL injection? I don't know. SQL injection little characters to get the admin for a specific username. For a specific username. SQL injection isn't easy. SQL injection isn't easy. This one. That's the one I tried. Can also inject comments. Yeah, that's what I tried. What are you telling me? No comment SQLite bypass. Apparently there's no comment bypass. Cross-field injection. So I inject this into username. Wonder what that is, but I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you. I love you. I love you. I'm gonna trust you right now. But that didn't work. Why did it not work? Entire developer written query evaluate to true. Backend query looks something like that. I agree. I can completely bypass the filter using this. I have no clue what this does. This concatenates string. Okay. This is URL encoding without, oh well, hex encoding. But it's not blocking anything. I think I still need to add something in the password. That's the situation. So I put that into the password. Let's go. Let's just go. I want to try stuff. I don't want to be reading out what a guy does. I just try stuff and I make it. We're gonna make it. This is in there. This one is up here. This, I just smell that this is gonna work. Come on. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What did we have over here? A new error is always good, a good sign. It's a good step forward. Put this nice little username injection. We'll put this is going to be our password injection. Let's go ahead. Password, and we get an error. We get SQLite 3 unable to prepare statement 1. Incomplete input. This sounds extremely suspicious. It's as if incomplete input. I mean, this does look incomplete. But what's the logic behind this? Did I add this correctly? I'm starting to think maybe I didn't add this correctly. Injecting this into password. This, okay, and username was this before, this. It says not admin and unable to prepare a statement. What could this be? Preparing a statement. We're gonna get this. But what are we even trying to do this? Here. Thing is, this is not the final query. That's the issue. The final query we got does not have these brackets at the end. It really doesn't. Because we're not using any brackets. So that's what we need to change from this password part, and then we'll be good, I believe. In 0 this, which it is. So that's quite a smart. Yeah, we say this empty string is in 0 this. That's correct. False is represented by the integer 0. Oh, exactly, and it's not blank. My bad. So it's not blank, so that's why, since we say that false. But I think what we need to realize is that we're not using a bracket, so I think I can just. So how do we add the bracket? Okay, how do we add the bracket with by whilst still maintaining a working thing? Is not. Is not. This is gonna work for sure. And it doesn't work. Oh, it does work. It does work. It does work. It does work. Beautiful. We're gonna do a review of this, but first let's get our flag because that's the most important part. Let's be honest. We've got this, got the filter, and we got the flag. That orange flag. Let's go deeper into the SQL because that at the end was pretty quick. We gotta make sure we understand what exactly we did. So the username we passed is this over here, which I'm highlighting now, just like that. What it's doing is it's going to concatenate what is a hexadecimal of admin. So we're going to concatenate the query the hexadecimal of admin. So It's going to say where username equals admin, because it's going to grab this and add it to the query, right? I think that's pretty much what is explained over here. Injecting to username. This is admin and hex. This has higher priority than the equals, where username equals admin, which evaluates to true. Although I do not understand the or. What does it mean by having a higher precedence? We need to bypass the word admin without using equals. Okay, so where username, but it already has an equals, right? So what's happening here? Or has a higher precedence, or concatenation. String concatenation. So what it's doing is, what's the X then? Okay, no, that's just the hexadecimal for admin. This, actually no, we have this, which is admin. What about the X? So we're closing, so that makes it equals to nothing. And then we concatenate it with this string. And then we add an extra quote so that it actually works. Let's do this slowly so we understand it. So I'm going to split screen here quickly. So basically what we have, if I go down, because this just went all the way back up, knowing when it happens, I'm going to go right down here because we need to understand this. So we have from usernames where what we put inside is, we have the closing one, then we have concatenation, we're going to represent it as a plus, which is more intuitive for us. So plus admin plus this. This is what I see. So it's going to join, right? So we're going to remove this quotation from here and this one. We're going to remove this, like this. We're going to end up with that. Username equals admin. So that makes sense, right? And then we continue. And password equals this is not. And password equals this is not. First it does this part, so password equals this, which evaluates to false. No. Yes. The statement then becomes 0 is not this, which will be true because 0 is not the same as just an empty string. And that's where we get the entire true clause, giving us the admin user. So yeah, it was quite a bit of things we had to do there. Can't lie, AI helped quite a lot in this one, but we did get it in the end. So basically, we have to say that it's equal to admin because that's the user we want, but then we had to decode that here with hexadecimal, using some concatenations because we couldn't use many symbols, and using this is not to basically not use all the filters we had. So this really had to refresh our knowledge on SQL, because there's some of these techniques which with a basic SQL injection you don't even need to know, right? You just do that, or 1 equals 1. But we got the flag, so whatever this theory stuff, we used this, we got the flag, that's what matters. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.